So the Brian for Mayor Digital Battle Bus Tour continues, and today I'm out to the borough of Lambeth here in London, and it's a borough with 68,000 young people that right now are being deprived their chance for a future. And we've just heard from the Prime Minister today a statement that schools might not open until summer. And this is something that very much concerns me. We've seen recent evidence from the Prince's Trust that our younger generation just doesn't believe they have a future. They don't believe they'll ever have their dream job. And this lack of education is really disrupting their development. It's disrupting their optimism, and it's disrupting our chance to build a great future for this city and this country. I have a 16-year-old daughter, and she's at home right now, and she's missing this school experience. And it's very, very challenging for her and for everyone. And we've also seen that there are studies shown that we could at least get our primary schools back in session, because they're actually, at that age, proven to be quite resistant to the virus and also not transmitting the virus. And this is something we've been talking about on London Real for months. I had Dr. Martin Kulldorff of Harvard Medical School, one of the founders, thank you, of the Great Barrington Declaration. And he said the same thing. He said, we just don't see the children transmitting it. And of course, the science is not being used in these political decisions. And our children are paying for it. My children are paying for it. But more importantly, we have a younger generation that just doesn't believe they're going to have a future. And I think the damage there is really hard to quantify. Real mental health damage. You know, when I was younger, my mom said, Brian, you can do and be anything you want. Now, you know, maybe she was being optimistic, but she always told me that if I worked hard, that I could be anything I wanted, an astronaut, anything. And we're telling our children the opposite now with what we're doing now. We're making them stay at home. We're making them have these virtual classes, which they just don't work. We need to get our kids back in school, and we need a clear roadmap from our leadership to show that, because these schools need lead time. And let's be honest, businesses do as well, which is why my main policy of Get London Back to Work is so crucial. We've got to show a roadmap out of this lockdown. Otherwise, entrepreneurs and businesses, they can't invest in the future. They can't start employing people again. But we've got to have a plan. And I think it was Steve Baker of the COVID recovery group, one of the Tory backbenchers, that recently said, if you lock down on a forecast, why can't we open up on a forecast? And right now, I think we need a clear plan from our leaders. And this is some of the things that I'm talking about when I'm out there digitally campaigning. And so it's no surprise that certain people want me off the road, and it's very possible today that I'll be pulled over by the police and arrested. And we're prepared to do that because we think this message is important. And our battle bus is set up to be a digitally campaign bus where I can literally virtually meet you in all of these boroughs in London and talk about these very important issues, because you need to be able to elect leaders that make decisions in your interests. And if not, we have no democracy here. The current mayor of London has been unelected for a year. The election was postponed. You never voted him to be your mayor for the past year. Imagine if that continues. Well, that's no longer a democracy, and we demand free and fair elections take place on May 6th, and we are going to continue pushing forward with our bus. So please leave me your comments below. Tell me, do you think we need to get our kids back in school and get London back to work? And if you're in Lambeth, please leave me a question below as well. Also, I'm going to be going to every single borough in the city. So please come to our website, brianformayor.london/bus, and you can leave me a question. I'll be answering them live on my digital broadcast from the battle bus today. So I look forward to seeing you there. Thank you so much for the support. I've gotten so many messages and so many comments. We very much appreciate you. And we are going to continue fighting, continue moving forward, continue speaking the truth, and continue putting the best policy ideas out there. And then you have the choice. You have the choice. And we encourage all other parties to continue campaigning, of course, in a COVID-safe way, and to make sure that democracy happens. Thank you.